Hello and welcome to this Thursday's live game. We are doing the Battle of Königgrätz, uh, which is the Austro-Prussian War. And I am here with von Moltke and Prince Friedrich Karl. It's 7:30 in the morning. It's been raining recently. The ground's a little damp. Your soldiers are ready. What are your orders?
Friedrich Karl, position your army as you see fit. Find the good places for the artillery and push forward. And once this is done, I would like to join Bittenfeld down south.
Karl, Tinleaf, you got orders for me?
Yeah, this is gonna take a drawing, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit.
Okay. Well, just go ahead and draw. I'll look at your channel there and look at the drawing.
Okay.
All right, Crown Prince William. It's 7:30 in the morning. Your second army has been marching already since the early dawn. Um, as you can see, right now you're passing over a ridge, having passed through the town of Königinhof. And your army split in two. The two columns are roughly 7 to 8 miles apart, with Prince August leading the guards and First Corps on the eastern column, whereas you have Fifth Corps and Sixth on your side. What are your orders?
Okay, so that's why I was confused. I've been assigned to Second Army. Uh, uh, Continue heading south. Uh, yep, follow the road.
Okay, thank you. All right, gentlemen. It is 7:30 in the morning. You spent the night in Netchnitz, and with your army camped in the field all around. And what are your orders?
Let me see. It is hard to read. That northern ridge that's pretty much directly to my, what is that, east?
I
I'll
have
take
not
my
gotten a
men.
picture.
Yeah.
But where'd you say? Sorry again. It's hard to find on the map.
Plan channel, the northern map.
Oh, that one.
All right, so you're going east to the ridge.
Yeah, and then could I have my cavalry a fair bit ahead of me for screening purposes?
Sure.
I will advance to the ridge myself as well. Cavalry towards my right flank on the south. Advanced a little bit ahead.
Are you coming behind Bittenfeld or to the south or
To the south of him.
are you two staying co-located?
I'd reckon so.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. All right, Prince August. It is 7:30 in the morning. You are leading the other half of Second Army. You got your Guard Corps as well as First Corps. You are heading down the road near the river plain, approaching the town of Jaromir. What are your orders?
Just continue towards Jaromir for now. If possible, I want my cavalry to identify whether Josefstadt is occupied. If it isn't, then they just continue on the road southwest of Jaromir, and the column continues as it is currently.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
There's Kaiser.
Sorry, my computer's fucked. I'm here.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the two in the north. August and William.
Dust and William.
The two Prussians in the north. The ones I'm moving right now.
Alright.
Whoever's writing on the in the notes, would you actually not? Because then it messes up screenshots and things. I didn't put any. He might not be here.
Yeah, it's not bad. I did not know it carried across every screen. Sorry.
That's alright. What on earth?
Okay, sorry, I was just clarifying something.
I think I missed someone.
Is the 9th Ulan, are they supposed to have a 2 on them?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just everyone's starting morale. What on earth? Okay. Did the Austrians all move as much as they wanted?
The only thing that I was getting from the Austrians was they wanted to move all their cavalry around to scout, but they wanted to send them in kind of weird directions.
Oh, okay. I'm going to delete all the markings.
Okay.
Quick question.
I can barely hear you, Jaco.
Sorry.
Something happened to your mic.
This is the only way I can output the other people in the room.
I don't know what's wrong, but I could hear you fine before. Now I can't at all, really.
Is that better?
Yes.
I was trying to just so you wouldn't be able to hear the other guys in the room.
Oh, this is that guy. Can I still be slotted in?
Yep. Hop down.
Which was channel 5?
Whatever's open.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Quick question. Is this still whose artillery is this?
Those are reserve. They're under Benedict.
Gotcha.
So
Alright.
Jaco, since Benedict's here, you can take him as well.
Alright.
Which shouldn't be too hard. Alright, so everything's moved. No contact yet. I think we're good. Kaiser, you're going to take the 2 up north. Oh, you're still loading, right?
Oh yeah, I'm still loading.
Oh my gosh. Well, get their orders and write it down if you have to. It should just be keep marching. Let them know they've made 0 contact at all. Oh, and I guess I'll do the screenshots. So it's 8 o'clock. So on the players that you have, type 8 and then give them a screenshot.
What? How?
What's the view range for everyone? Sorry, I don't know I wasn't here for any of the, like, what's it called? Scaling or whatever.
Yeah, it's like 1 to 2 miles.
Okay.
Probably
And
2
then
miles
how
for
many
now.
inches per mile?
It should be set to grid, and so one grid is 1 mile.
Alright, so 1 Okay, I'm fully loaded in now.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and do the screenshots for the top two then.
We're at 8, right?
Yeah.
I don't use tabletops enough. How do I get my cursor to stop being the ruler?
So click on the go on the top left and click on the hand, the pointy hand.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Let's... This... Wait.
Are you able to get the screenshots, Kaiser? Do you want me to do it real fast?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Sorry, just 1 second.
Any questions before I go and hop down and get updates?
No, I got the rules pulled up, so I
Okay. Nominable, if you want people to tag you when they do dispatches, I guess put a comment in general, or you can ping each team in planning. Up to you. All right, I'm going
William.
down to. All right, Prince Friedrich Karl.
Hello.
Hello.
So these disruption marks, they're for the result of marching, right?
No, they're your starting morale. So don't worry about it.
Oh.
I'm doing a slightly different rule system, but it's basically the same as what you're used to.
Yes, okay. Do we have any reports of enemy troop movements?
So your 3 columns depart and make pretty good progress. 3rd Corps is entering. Holy crap! What town is that now? Something with an H. 4th Corps, something with an S and Solowitz, and 2nd Corps is approaching Dohalitz. And all send reports back that they have not found the enemy.
Keep moving.
Okay. Are you staying where you're at, or going with one of them?
The artillery reserve that I have with me currently, after the 3rd column moves out, they will move to Bukovic, and the cavalry will stay where they are.
Where's Bukovic?
Just southeast of me, Bukovic.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it. Okay. Alright. Thank you. Alright. Von Moltke comes and visits your illustrious camp. Your troops have moved quickly up onto the ridge with the cavalry screen ahead. Still no contact from any Austrian forces.
Okay. I will send my cavalry up a little further ahead. I will go with them though, to see things myself. And we just got to get to I think that's Stemfield.
Okay. Your infantry's holding here?
Nah, they'll keep marching along.
Okay. Mulbe?
Yep, my hussars will go south around the forest, and my infantry will go pretty much directly east into that large passive forest and start clearing it out, and I will stay with my infantry towards the rear.
Okay. Moltke?
And I will rejoin Prince Friedrich Karl of the 1st Army.
Alright. I was generous to your movement the first time. This next time you're going to be stuck in the middle.
Okay, fair enough. No problem. Gentlemen, send me dispatches if there's anything urgent. And I'll be back when I can.
Of course.
How's it going, Jacko?
Okay, so Albert's moving himself towards Benedek. Can he enter Benedek's channel?
Yes.
'Cause- okay.
So you'll co-locate them once it's the next turn, and you start giving out new screenshots.
All right.
Yeah.
I should go get my orders now.
Oh, had he not gotten his orders yet?
Nope.
Oh. Alright. We're learning. Oh, I gotta be moving stuff. Let's see. Where can they go? Did they blow across the stream? No, I think they try to take a road since they're not.
Okay. I see that the Prussian Third Corps is kind of approaching the 9th Ulan. They're going to situate themselves up on this hill here.
Sure.
The Austrian cavalry.
I'm kind of moving the Prussians a little bit faster just to get things going.
Okay. I gave the Austrian cavalry along the northern road a little bit of movement bonus just so that they'll get up there faster.
Yeah. Once combat starts, we can divide it up and see what makes sense.
Okay. I'm good to tell Hohenstein that the right end of his line and the left end of his line see two different columns approaching, right?
Let's see.
Or I'll tell him cavalry in the south and a
Hohenstein's
column.
where? Well, that's the next turn.
Yeah, next turn.
Yeah. I figured this cavalry up ahead would be running into skirmishers put out because they're not even a mile apart now. So yeah, they'll be aware of each other.
All right.
We're just waiting on Jaco. Did you move William yet? No, you haven't.
No, I gotta get there. Is William on a road there? I can't quite tell.
Yeah, there's some really small roads, but if you just go on south, you can just move them like to here, just past Lance, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Hussars. He said he wanted forwards. Here.
I moved the eastern column for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna go make sure Jaco's doing all right.
The Hussars in the eastern column, he wanted them to outride, so move them as far as they can forward.
Yeah, I'll move them up then.
And Neil's continuing to go to that. I think he told you, but you know where he's going.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, I was checking on Jaco.
He's Jay chilling.
I'm just gonna go back to my men and wait for the cab to report something. Do I hear any artillery anywhere?
No.
Okay, then nope. I'm gonna go back to my men and find the most comfortable chair I can find.
All right. Person. Umpire.
Hi.
So, you've seen the screenshot, correct?
I do. You're very quiet, just so you're aware. But I do see the screenshot.
I've got other people in the room with me, so
Oh, gotcha.
yeah. So, what are your orders?
For now, I'm gonna go co-locate with the Saxon commander, who I think is on my right.
Prince Albert?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
his name, Albert.
Alright. And is that all?
I'm gonna send a dispatch in a minute, but that's handled by a separate umpire.
Where'd everyone go?
Are we good for 8:30 orders?
Yeah. I was waiting on Jeko, but I think we're good. Alright, who do I have? Carl.
So,
Oh, Albert didn't. No, Albert's not a person. That would make my life easier. Naughty list.
James?
Yes.
Who had dispatches?
What's that? Oh, Namable's doing all the dispatches.
So,
You don't have to do
should be able
anything.
to- Okay.
That is some help. James, how far can cavalry travel, per turn?
2 miles. 2-3 miles.
Got you. Thank
I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, Bittenfeld. I was missing one.
August is also in Bittenfeld's channel for some reason.
Oh, I gotta fix that. Yeah, they're separated now. Bittenfeld, Moltke's on his own. They're all separate. Alright, I'm gonna go get updates.
Albert would be, in the same voice chat as, Benedict by now, right?
Yeah, you know how to move them?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yep, as soon as you've done screenshots, go ahead and go down and get the next round's orders. Alright, General Moltke, you heading north, back to rejoin with the First Army. No sounds of battle anywhere whatsoever so far.
Thank you very much.
Okay. General Bittenfeld, you ride ahead doing some personal reconnaissance with your cavalry force outside of Lobus, I don't know. Whatever town you're by right now, you run into Austrian skirmishers who take a couple pot shots, then promptly run away. But now you can see, looks like the Austrian infantry in line not far to the east.
Do you see that?
What are your orders?
I will bring the cannon, right? Actually, that is a hill that I'm on, and it slopes down into that little lowlands. How forested is that woodland to the north of the cannons?
Very forested.
Very forested.
If
All right, not too
it's
hot.
dark green, it's a forest.
Okay, forest is forest, understandable. I will send my cannons along with the infantry, kind of further south to Ober.
Okay.
I guess that's what it is. With the cannons in the front, so that way they can get clean shots. And I will keep my current position.
Okay. Got it.
Did I ping anyone for dispatch?
You can ping Nominable, but I think he's keeping up with it.
Okay.
Alright, General Gustav von der Mulbe. Your infantry is moving east out of the forests and past Hradec. Your Landwehr cavalry report that they have just passed Techlowitz south of the forest, and they have spotted Austrian cavalry moving about to the northeast. Looks like 2 brigades of hussars. To the north, you can see the Elbe army moving east a little bit.
Okay.
What are your orders?
Infantry will continue moving east to clear the forest.
In line or down the road?
In line formation.
Okay.
The hussars will continue to report on movements, but not engaging from where they're at. I would like to also send a dispatch to Bittenfeld to let them know there is 2 units of hussars on the other end of the forest we're approaching.
Yep. Just write it down in your channel.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, General Karl, your columns continue. The heavy cavalry in 2nd Corps, which is southeast of Ober, reports having run into Austrian skirmishers at their position and having run them off. And that's about it in terms of contact. Oh, I take that back. The 3rd Corps reports they have crossed the river and have encountered Austrian Uhlans guarding Wrchownitz, Wrchownitz. What are your orders?
Alright. That's 3rd Corps, right?
That was 3rd Corps, that last report, yeah.
South of me, or are they the one with Schmidt?
3rd Corps is the northernmost column. 2nd Corps is the southernmost. Schmidt is 2nd Corps.
Near... Okay, do they report any other Austrian troops?
Nope.
Okay, order 3rd Corps to move up towards Benatki and form there, and just hold their position until further orders. 2nd and 4th Corps will continue their march towards the forest. 2nd Corps is ordered to march towards Lipa.
Lipa, okay.
And cavalries to move up near Mizani.
Cavalry moved to Mizan.
If you want, I can give a diagram just for the ease,
No,
just
I
to
got
make
it.
it easier.
4th Corps is going where? Castells, I assume.
4th. Fourth Corps is the one in the very center, right? They're
Yeah.
going to the forest.
Into the forest?
East of Certich.
Okay.
And the cavalry is to move up to Mizani.
Got it. Alright, thank you. Oh, shoot. Bittenfeld, August, permissions. You guys have any issues moving around the Austrians?
No. The IRA rolled for the little road combat that happened.
Oh, good.
Yes, actually, because the who's got the orders for the southernmost Prussian cavalry division?
I do.
Mine.
Oh, those guys are in artillery range.
These hussars are going to be moving towards it.
Okay, well they have orders not to engage, so they'll fall back.
That would be
Alright.
stop them. And also, so since Gallus has such a long distance between him and his cavalry, how long would it take for a dispatch from him to his cavalry to get to his cavalry?
Who? Where?
Gallus,
Oh.
south flank.
It would take... like if he's issuing new orders?
Yes.
Or like, I don't know, half a turn. So if he does anything that changes their previous orders, give it like a half a turn delay.
Oh no, the Austrians have better cavalry, so yes, it does hit them. Better artillery. I already got the artillery.
I did it. Oh, look at you on the ball. Okay. All movements done.
I believe so.
Alright, so make sure,
my part.
now that we have artillery, make sure that most people near it will hear that there is artillery in the general direction, so describe that in your updates. And it is now 9 o'clock. And go ahead and do screenshots.
Alright.
Would there be much, if any, delay between how long would it take for the hussars that are currently engaged on that road to send a dispatch back to August?
You just let them know that turn. This turn, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Alright. Alright, General Bittenfeld. So you hold position with the cavalry on the hill outside of Lotus as your army comes marching up the road through Ober. You can now hear artillery fire somewhere to the north-northeast, a couple miles away. That's about it.
Okay. I will send those 3 blocks, those brigades that are just kind of sitting around. I'll send them to my north flank, just north of reserve cavalry. And I will bring my cannons to Provitus, where the 14th Brigade is, because that's a pretty good hill. And my infantry will go to that wood line. Not into the woods, but just at the wood line, south of Bor.
Okay. I think I understood all that. Alright, thank you. Alright, General Mulb. So your army is marching towards the next town of New Prim in the forest ahead. A little bit slow as you cross the stream. Meanwhile, you can see Bittenfeld's army marching on down the road rather swiftly eastward. You get word back from your land where that the Austrian hussars were approaching, and so they fell back per your orders. And you can hear artillery fire far to the northeast.
Okay. Hussars are to continue falling back towards the town of Hudrick. The forward 2 Landwehr guards are to continue eastward, clearing the forest. The southern Landwehr guard in the second row is to get into the forest and then face south, and then the third one will follow the front 2.
Okay. Thank you.
The bottom one is there. So,
alright, time for report. So, 2nd Corps reports that their vanguard of the column has fallen under fire, artillery fire from the Austrians on the hill to the east of them. The cuirassiers are just past the town of Lipa, where they're come under fire. 4th Corps is passing through the forest to the northeast of you now. No contact or reports from them. And 3rd Corps reports they're arriving in Benetek and that the Uhlans have retreated further east towards Horonoz. And the cavalry has moved up to Mazan. Your cavalry has moved up to Mazan. You can hear...
clarification.
Yeah.
The cuirassiers, are they under infantry fire, musket fire, or artillery fire?
Artillery.
Fire. Okay, thank you.
Artillery fire.
So,
and how far is the artillery? Do they know?
They say they can see them on the hill southeast of Lipa, about not quite a mile away. I guess a mile from Lipa. But...
Okay. So, just through the forest and the hill next to it, is it?
Yeah, around that area.
My suggestion is bring the infantry into that forest and pull the cuirassiers back. See if you can scout the north to figure out what those reports were about. I think you just and make a proper front line. Go on.
The
Sorry?
sector, do we have any updated reports on that?
Are you asking me? I gave you the report for 3rd Corps. They're in Benetek.
So do we see any more Austrian troops in the north?
No.
Okay. The 2nd Corps infantry forces will move through the forest towards Schlum and try to take out the artillery around the town and the hill next to it through the forest, and just hold the forest in general, move back the cuirassiers. The 4th Corps is to take control of the forest just north of Gisteves and hold their positions there. The 3rd Corps is to move to Horineves and take up positions in the forest there.
4th Corps is heading where? Say that again.
4th Corps in the center, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna take positions in the forest just north of the town of Gisteves and west of the town of Maslachedi, where they are right now.
Okay, just take positions in the forest.
And I'll move towards the northern sector near 3rd Corps to try and figure out the reports in the area. The reserve artillery here will be stationed in the town of Gisteves.
So, can we just be clear? I'm asking my general. You last turn you got a report of some skirmishers or some enemy forces moving just north of you, close to Bennett.
All right.
Hey, do you want the Does the artillery starting at the same 2 as everything else, or is it starting at a 0?
We can start at a 2.
Okay.
So let's now that we're starting to get more combat, do you want the south or north combat?
I'll take the north combat just because of all of my guys are kind of up here.
Okay, so let's split it. For now, let's split it here. So anything north of that, you do. Don't forget that artillery, each round that it fires goes up a disruption, just from wear and tear and getting tired. So make sure to update that every round they're shooting, every full round that they're shooting.
Okay.
Have you done combat in the south here yet?
I have not. I haven't rolled for them.
I'll do that then.
I just was putting the markers down so that everybody would know they're in range. That is going to be nasty.
Me trying to take a not horrific screenshot challenge possible.
James, would you say that Gallus is able to hear this artillery around here?
Yeah, I think so. It's only 5 miles away.
Makes sense.
Is combat done in the north?
Yes.
Okay.
It was just the one artillery.
All right, 9:30. Get your screenshots. Second Army. Why is there a ruler over Carl?
I'm good to go get orders, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is Albert a player now? Or Benedict? Did Benedict arrive?
Yeah, he arrived.
Okay.
Alright, General Moltke, you ride north in search of Second Army. You've passed through Königgrätz. Fortunately, you've not been run into any Austrians. You can see dust clouds to the northeast, so you think you're on the right road. That's about it. Alright. General Bittenfeld. So, your artillery and infantry is coming up. The horse artillery quickly arrives and unlimbers and starts bombarding the Austrian position. Their own guns return fire and a duel starts. Your infantry is still moving up the roads towards you, and that's about it. The
good to see.
Mulbe and the reserve, your 15th Division reports that they are moving ponderously through the woods in line formation to your southwest.
Yeah, I've appeared to have read. Okay. I will bring the cavalry, or at least the 14th Brigade. We will wrap around our infantry friends, the 28th Brigade, and head north. Do a little screening along the north flank, and I need the infantry to attack the Austrian left, which I guess would be the Austrian right. I'm not sure. Pocek, whatever his name is. And, those would be my orders.
Okay.
Although, actually, hold on. The 30th Fusiliers and 31st Brigade, I need defending the hill at Steinfeld from anything that would come from our southeast.
Okay. Got it.
Too easy.
Alright. Oops. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, General Mulb, you can hear new sounds of artillery fire much closer now, somewhere to the northeast. Your men are starting to enter into the woods. No sign of the Austrians near to you.
The trio of infantry in the forest are going to continue east. Hussars are going to continue screening towards the south, maybe getting a little bit closer to get better eyes on the bridge there in Redovosvitz.
Okay.
And the southern infantry is going to. Quick question: range of muskets. I believe someone said 400 yards.
That's extreme. More like 200.
And that'd be 0.2 on tabletop.
Yeah, roughly.
And then the southern infantry is going to also go east. Their goal is that little road through the forest, and then they're going to get eyes south.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright, Prince Friedrich Karl, you ride north, approaching Benetek, where 3rd Corps is. 3rd Corps commander says he's approaching Horowanois now, where the Austrian cavalry is located. The Uhlans, and that's about it. You can hear... Yeah, cavalry's still in Mazan. I don't think he gave orders for them. Second Corps reports they're getting formed up now, but haven't launched their attack.
So they see Austrian cavalry.
Yep, east of here.
Just east of me, near the town of Oraneves or Vrovnice.
Yep.
Okay, and what about the south? Any reports from there?
Yeah, that's Second Corps I told you was forming up to attack.
Did they capture the enemy artillery at Chlum?
No, they said they're still deploying into formation to attack. They haven't started their attack yet.
Okay. The Third Corps is to launch an attack on Vrchovnice and rout the Austrian cavalry in the area. Full attack. Guard the flank. Have one unit deploy on the flank and make sure we don't get outflanked.
Okay. Where are you going?
I'll go back south.
What about your cavalry?
Actually, I'll stay here.
Okay. And your cavalry?
The cavalry is to move up towards the town of Sadova. So just northwest of the town of Sisteves to the town of Sadova. Up there.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's the line.
Okay. There's my dice.
Which we'll probably have to move at some point because that's where most of the combat's going to be. But
Yeah, I can erase it. It wants to erase. There it goes. Were the Prussians in the north with Third Corps, were they trying to attack them with the cavalry?
No, they were under orders to withdraw if enemies tried to engage.
The Prussian Third Corps?
yeah, the infantry is attacking. This.
The infantry was attacking, but the second reserve is with the 5th Corps. Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to say that the 9th Ulan is going to get away from that because they were ordered not to engage, and given the horse, they can just run away.
They would escape if they wanted.
Horsey. About how far could someone see if they were like on top of a hill?
If it's a really good hill, 4 or 5 miles.
Yeah, it's not like a crazy great hill. It's just this like kidney bean one over here. I'm trying to. Okay, hold on.
I'm going to roll that this artillery spots that artillery. Were those guys unlimbered over here with 4th Corps?
No.
No.
Oh, if they're advanced that far, yeah. That first one can start shooting.
Okay.
done with combat? Kaiser, can you take Moltke with your update since he's co-located with William?
Yeah, I gotcha. Alright.
Yeah, combat's finished in the north.
Okay.
Alright, is combat resolved?
Yep. You're free to do 10 o'clock screenshots.
Hooray!
And then can I tell Moltke and William to move into the same channel?
Yeah, I think I already moved him.
Alright.
I'm gonna steal whoever's screenshot it is for Benedict.
Quick question: who's controlling Ludwig?
I couldn't hear you.
Who's controlling Ludwig? The like center of the Austrian line?
Ludwig.
This guy.
Oh,
Ludwig.
he's probably under.
He's under Hohenstein.
Yeah.
Okay. Albert was wanting to. What's it called? I can't remember.
You wanted to what?
Wanted to. Co-locate with Ludwig. So would I move Albert into Hohenstein's channel?
Yeah, we can move him over. I think if he wants to co-locate and talk about what's going on, I don't think it's going to affect Hohenstein too much just to be over a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my updates. Alright, General Bittenfeld. So, you ride north with the 14th Brigade, and as you crest that ridge there, you get a decent view of the Austrian position. You can see to the south that 2 Austrian brigades are attacking your line, but your artillery and some infantry, the 29th Brigade, are firing back and holding them for the moment. And then you can see the very edges of 1st Army to the north and their artillery firing. And that's about it.
Alright. Would my cavalry be able to come down on the north flank of those infantry in time before 27th Brigade gets in there?
Yeah, probably.
We'll do that. Good old cavalry charge.
Okay. Anything else?
For now, hold the line.
Okay. You're staying here?
Yeah, just everyone else hold the line while the cavalry tries to turn the flank.
Okay. Alright, General Mulbe, the sounds of artillery fire nearby, maybe, it's kind of hard to tell in the forest, but maybe 2 miles to the northeast, grows in intensity. Your cavalry have moved to Radikowitz and report 0 sightings of the enemy. The rest of your infantry move in line formation through the woods, which is quite slow.
Yes, I figured that. I will get the trio that's the front, or I guess the trio that I'm around, to instead get into column on that little logging path.
Okay.
And continue moving east. And the southern will get into the best formation to make it to that road and look south, which I guess would be column as well. Cavalry, no orders other than to stay put and keep an eye on that road.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, General Karl. So, first of all, 3rd Corps to your north report that they were able to push the Austrian cavalry out of Hrunoves, really without any fighting. The Uhlans fled. 4th Corps reports in the center that they are holding in the forest. Your reserve artillery reports that they are engaging Austrian artillery to the east, and then 2nd Corps far to the south reports they are advancing towards the Austrian line through the woods. What are your orders?
Okay. So the northern force reports that there's Austrians just southeast of them near the hills, right?
Yep.
And in the center, just southeast of Masloved, there are Austrian artillery spotted.
Yep.
The 5th Division and the 9th Brigade of the 5th Division from the 3rd Corps, they will launch an immediate attack to occupy the hill of Hrunoves, and the 4th Corps will continue to deploy in the forests. The reserve battery that is currently near Shistovas, they will form up completely and fire with 2 batteries on the Austrian artillery in response. I didn't quite catch what the 2nd Corps reported, so what did the 2nd Corps report? Did they reach Slum?
They're advancing to attack now.
They're successful?
All I said is they're advancing.
Do my SARs from the 3rd Corps report anything unusual northwards?
From 4th Corps?
Okay. No, the 3rd Corps. The one near Hrunoves.
I don't think they have any hussars. Those hussars are part of 2nd Army.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, just continue on with the orders that I just gave, and that's about it. I'll go towards the reserve batteries and take care of them.
Okay. Let's see, how far could they go?
Nothing. Oh wait, no, that would have been something for the Prussians.
For the Prussians are coming through the woods there, so they would get a +1 defense for that.
Okay.
And I think at least the Austrian artillery is on a hill, so they get +1 defense.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I'll just leave them at 6 because they go up 1 for firing. Okay, so these guys are going to take... They're going to still take 2 because they're even in the woods, it's still 6. And these guys, they rolled a 3 plus 1, so 4. That's going to come out to 1 against that unit. Artillery. Oh god, that artillery is not gonna have it. No, that roll, they definitely. 4, 3, and 5. They're on a hill. Yeah. Did the Prussians up here have any extra movement? Deferred?
No. Not that much more. Maybe take the hill a little bit. But... Is Moltke staying north? They're coming back down.
Oh. Okay. Did these guys charge the guys on the hill up here, or did they just kind of move into range to shoot at them?
Where?
Up here at Haberninka.
Oh, I don't know. That's not mine. Kaiser? Is he here? Oh, he's not here.
Okay, I'll wait. Oh, Kaiser is here. Kaiser, did they get charged, or did they just move into range to shoot at them?
Is a great question. He said to get them in to to charge them, but I don't know if he meant charge.
Okay, that is a really steep hill.
I
If
think he meant
charge,
just to engage. I think he said just to engage. Let me move him.
Any hill that looks steep isn't as steep as it looks, but it still give a bonus to the defender.
Yeah. I think that it'll be reasonable to say they're just shooting.
Okay.
Or rather, I would say that the cavalry commander would look at those orders if it said to charge and immediately be like, no.
We charged them, but with bullets.
Yeah.
You said that, James. You said that infantry moving in line is a quarter of a mile, right?
Yeah.
So they get +1 for hill. Were these guys meant to get in range down here? These infantry?
Yeah, but I don't know that they could have. Like, I don't think they can move that far.
Okay. Yeah, the second light's just gonna sit there then.
Yeah.
Actually, they were ordered to help out their friends, so... I don't know, I don't think they would move off that road.
Probably not with the pressure that they're currently taking. Because I think they will probably take shots if they were to move from their current position. Yeah. Does someone mind moving that ruler real quick? Thank you.
I can also get these dice out of the way if you need them to.
Yeah, appreciate it. Am I good to take my next round?
I'm done in the south.
I'm done in the north.
All right, 10:30.
Done in the south as well. Never mind.
Okay, so he's going to be able to see Joseph.
All right, gentlemen, a little bit. So your men get onto the road and make much more progress getting through the woods. You do receive a report from your cavalry that Austrian hussars were spotted again, riding near Techlaus to the south of you. And you can still hear fighting up north of you. But all your skirmishers and your vanguard to your east don't report any contacts.
Right. Cavalry is to stay in that town unless they get attacked, in case they can fall back. Southern infantry will continue moving to that small road. Once they get there, they'll get set up watching south.
This is the small road that kind of bisects the forest?
Yeah, it goes north-south, has an MM marker on it.
Okay.
And my main infantry will get to the edge of the forest. The forward one will deploy in line. The other two will stay in column, and I will march to the edge of the forest to look out and see what I can see.
Okay.
Guess that's a hill. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, General Bittenfeld. So, you send in the 14th Brigade, and it does indeed catch the Austrians off guard and slams into their flank, immediately breaks them. They're turning and running. They do fall under fire from other nearby Austrian troops which are advancing. You yourself are at risk if they decide to turn and shoot at you. Your staff urges you to get to safety. Your horse artillery report they've been hit several times by enemy artillery. And that's about it.
Alright. Well, first, my staff are cowardly. They don't know anything. Other than that, I would like the 27th Brigade to advance to my location, fire on those Austrians that fire onto our dear cavalry, with the 28th Brigade taking their current place next to the 29th.
Could you give me a second before moving those pieces? I'm trying to get a screenshot.
Oh, sorry.
And if possible, 14th Brigade Cavalry to squeeze back through between the 29th and my horse artillery.
Okay.
My horse artillery can actually...
Okay.
28th was taking what? Go in the gap between?
Yeah, so the 28th moves to where the 27th is. The 27th moves to my position.
Got it.
The cavalry, hopefully, can fall back between the lines, safety. My cannons can actually fall down the hill with the 16th Division taking their place and hopefully pushing through the woods to the enemy artillery.
Wait, so cannons fall back with 16th moving
Cannons
up?
fall back. Yep.
Okay.
And then my reserve cavalry, if they can make it in time, to engage that lone artillery piece I see to my northeast.
Alright. Got it.
The big order.
It was a lot. Alright. Thank you. Alright, Prince Carl, you move back south to the heat of the battle. So you see your artillery officer has taken it upon himself to form up on limber and start firing at the Austrians to the east. The 4th Corps has formed up in the woods. Their artillery has joined the Grand Battery. The 2nd Corps to your south is moving through the woods towards the southeast, and you can hear and see gun smoke rising from the trees where they must be engaged. Your cavalry has moved up down the main road, awaiting further orders, and a courier arrives from 3rd Corps that they have pushed the Uhlans again out of the town. They have retreated southeast, and that they can now see Austrian infantry to their south on the hills.
Okay, so I'm gonna go by this step by step. First, the 3rd Corps in the north, they are going to form up in the typical box formation that each of these infantry corps form up on the hills of Horonoves, and just form up there quickly and wait for my signal for the attack. 4th Corps is to hold position and have their artillery continue firing. All the artillery will continue firing. The 2nd Corps, what do they face? Is it only artillery or is it infantry as well?
Infantry as well.
Okay. The 2nd Corps is to continue their advance against the town of Plum, and 3rd heavy cavalry contingent of the 2nd Corps is to aid them in a flanking maneuver. The cavalry under Albert, so I'm going to dispatch the 1st and 2nd light cavalry contingents southwards towards the towns of Rosperitz and Rostritz, going through the towns of Langenhof and Problus, respectively. So I gave a diagram in my channel. It's easier that way to move around the cavalry. So that's the orders for the cavalry, but yeah, the 2nd Corps' orders are to just continue their advance and have the 3rd heavy cavalry contingent assist them in flanking maneuvers.
Wait, 3rd heavy cavalry to do
I'm
what?
just gonna stay here.
What's
The 1st and 2nd light cavalry contingents from Albert's cavalry.
I got that. What'd
And
you say?
Albert's cavalry.
Alright, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. Albert's cavalry is to form up at the town of Lipa, but his 2 cavalry contingents, the 1st and 2nd light, are to move southeast towards the towns of Rosperitz and Rosnitz.
Okay, I got it. And what did you want 3rd heavy cavalry to do?
The 3rd heavy cavalry is to try and outflank the enemy contingent.
Oh, okay.
And aid the 2nd Corps in their advance.
Alright.
Whenever you have a second, move Moltka out back to his own channel.
Okay. I think you can do that too, but I'll do that.
Do I have? I might be able
You should.
to, sorry.
That's alright.
I didn't realize I could do that myself in the future.
Okay, still needs a screenshot.
My fault.
Moltka does with his new one? Oh. I guess I'm picking him back up. time are we at? 11? No, 10:30. No, he's fine. I'll pick him back up though.
They have all moved here. Okay, I still need this. What are the rules for like a forced march again?
Move him double and add a disruption to him.
Okay.
Oof. What do we call that? I think we call that not making it.
How do I add a disruption? Sorry.
Well, if it's got a piece on them already, just put a number, hover over the piece, and type a number for the number you want it to be. Or you can right-click and change it. But
Okay, right. So like I'll like up the number.
yeah, so if it's a 2, hit the number 3, and it'll go up to 3.
Okay, got it.
He's not here. Oh, well that would have not happened. I hate tiny pieces.
Okay.
Have you done any combat yet, Lancer?
No, not yet. I just got done doing orders. I was slow on the screenshots. Kaiser, are these cavalry? Are they? I'm assuming they're going to pursue.
So I'm gonna do.
I believe so.
Okay.
That's out of range.
And then,
Yes, they are under orders to pursue.
okay. Well, I want to reorganize the infantry because they'd probably just end up walking back down the road, kind of free that checkpoint right there.
Yeah, I'll shuffle them forward into town.
Okay.
I've actually done combat all in the main battle area.
Okay, so you just not in the. Have you done this artillery right here?
Yeah,
Okay.
even that. I just haven't done that stuff over that way.
Okay. Austrians got a 3, so.
Alright. 11
Russians
o'clock.
6 and 8-2. Let's see. Okay, well the second light was, yeah, they'd end up getting into that combat as well. And I'll give that other shot at the other one.
I'll take Moltke back.
Is all the combat up here in the north?
Yeah, all the combat in the north's resolved.
Alright.
Is the Henriquez in range of the 16th over here? They were ordered to attack him.
Where? Who? What?
These guys. The Austrians under Hohenstein, he sent his left wing out to attack the flank of the Prussians.
Right. I'm going to do it next turn because they're getting through the trees right now.
Okay. So here we go. Ernst. Okay. And then I still need... Did I get good Ali? I did not get good Ali's. You want those.
Your ruler's killing me, nominal. Alright, I'm gonna go get my updates. Alright, General Mulbe. So, you reach the edge of the forest and deploy your men at the edge of the wood line. As you look eastward, you can see Austrian Uhlans on the move, coming into the town just east of you, and movement on the hills to the northeast with Austrian troops cresting the ridge and marching towards you. Your cavalry at Radikowitz report that the Hussars are retreating, going east. And you still hear lots of artillery fire and sounds of battle to the north.
Right. The infantry in line formation will advance towards the town and start firing on the cavalry in front of them.
Okay.
The guards behind them will march northeast and get in line with them. The ones behind them will continue in column northwards along the road to continue forming a battle line. Cavalry will move east to Teklovich and just follow the Hussars. And the last infantry that was designed to get on the road and watch south will now head to north and then east, so back on that little logging road, and get where the Landwehr division currently is and act as a reserve.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, General Bittenfeld.
Hello.
So, your reserve cavalry charge forward towards the enemy artillery. You think you have it, but the artillery fires some devastating canister shot at the last minute, and it's enough to break the spirit of your cavalry, who turn and run back. The 27th Brigade has taken a position on the ridge to your east and is engaging the Austrians from that nice position. Your artillery has pulled back, as has the 14th Brigade Cavalry, while your infantry is moving forward. You do receive word from your 30th Brigade on your far right in reserve that Austrians have been spotted in the woods to the east and are marching towards you, your right flank position.
Okay.
That's about it.
Well, I will get the 28th and 29th online properly to engage. I'll bring both the cavalry just behind the 15th, 29th Brigade to kind of rest and relaxate. And I will head south to my right flank to observe personally what is happening down there.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Alright, General Karl. So, the Austrian artillery retreats to the east and is pulled out of range of your nearby artillery. 3rd Corps reports that they have formed up and are ready to advance at your word. They are bombarding the Austrian position with artillery. 4th Corps is also formed up in the woods, as you can see to the north. And then 2nd Corps Schmidt sends a courier back reporting that the attack is going in and is being successful so far. He's almost taken the town of Schlon. And that's about it.
Okay. So, the 3rd Heavy Cavalry contingent, they're just going to pull back right now and not suffer any less damage and regroup at Lipa near Albert's cavalry contingents. The 4th and 3rd Corps are to... Actually, the artillery is to resume fire on the Austrians.
They're too far.
Okay, scrap that. I'm being indecisive here, but bear with me. Okay, the 4th and 3rd Corps will launch an advance on the town of Maslowid or Maslowjeli, whatever its name is. And that's about it. They will launch the advance. They will try to rout the Austrians. And a salvo, a volley from all of the artillery will signal the advance.
Okay.
The cavalry is to continue their given orders, and the 3rd is to pull back towards Lipa and regroup.
What are the 1st and 2nd Light supposed to be doing?
Sorry?
The 1st and 2nd Light Cavalry you sent south, what are their orders?
They are to continue the orders that has been given to them in the past term. So go to the same towns as I specified.
Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you.
The 2nd Corps is to continue their advance, and that's about it.
Alright, General Moltke, you are approaching the southern battle, or the southern position. You can see the back end of 4th Corps there to your southeast. You can hear lots of artillery fire all around, both east and south. Where are you trying to get to?
Thank you. I want to continue towards the 1st Army HQ. On a side note, I know you cannot tell me anything. Just make sure that what's his name? That General Prince August understands how to send dispatches from the game mechanic perspective. You don't have to tell me if he sent any or anything.
Okay.
Just make sure that
I'll ask.
I don't know if he's new, that somebody explains it how it's done.
Okay. General August, do you know how to send dispatches?
As in directly, or?
Oh yeah, I see you've written them. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Your CIC was questioning your dispatch ability, but I see you're writing them, so we're good.
Well, also based on location, I didn't know if I could really send them to him because he's on the other side of what I think is the Austrian deployment area.
Very fair, yeah.
When I got one from him, I was like, okay, so I can send. So yeah, that's why I just sent one to him.
Okay, sounds good. Time for some shooting. What on earth?
These guys are back yet? No. Okay.
On the hill, no.
Jaka, you took Ernst's orders, right?
I did.
Okay. Did any of his troops, like, did he give orders for them to advance and engage, or?
No. All he did was order Appiano to move behind Benedek, Francesca to take his position, and the Ulans to move out of the line of fire.
Okay. What are my dice? Oh, there they are. Okay. And then Kaiser, did you come back yet? You are back yet. Okay.
Yes. The cavalry was ordered not to pursue past Rodau. So.
Okay. I'm still gonna have the first light. They're gonna go all the way up to Broken because they're kind of just running away from this giant pursuing force that they know outnumbers them.
Yeah.
And they already took a lot of casualties. Ooh, that's nasty.
Yikes.
Okay, so we'll just say that shot hits the Kirchenberg. Okay.
Is the orange line where you're combating up till?
That's what I've gotten done. I can go ahead and take care of this portion right here if you want me to.
No, I have done it. Oh wait, are they in range now? It's slightly out of range.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm done then. 10, 11:30.
Okay. Before we all break out, who had Albert to begin with?
I did.
Okay. Do you have the editing software? He wants all of his screenshots oriented north, which is kind of difficult to do
Yeah,
without.
I do. I can do it.
Okay. If you could handle his, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
I believe he's moving away from.
He is.
Anyway, so we can just take him out of the channel, right?
Yeah, he's marching away. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Albert. I'll move him into free. That's okay.
updates. Alright, General Mulbe.
Yes,
All
I
right.
would. Go ahead.
So, your landwehr advanced to take the town. The Uhlans retreat. The Austrian infantry moves up to engage, and then the Uhlans attack you on your flank. The rest of your infantry move up into line, but aren't engaged yet. You can see Elba's army. Well, you can hear more than see. Elba's army to the north is engaged, and your 4th Brigade, Guards Brigade's coming up down the road, and your landwehr to your far south report no enemy sightings.
Okay. Landwehr cavalry to scout east. With the goal of eventually attacking the 6th Ulan if they do not see anything.
Okay.
Landwehr Guards, the 4th Infantry approaching, will get to the forest line, form a line looking east to fire at any cavalry coming east-southeast. If they're in range, they'll fire at the 6th. And the 2 guards currently not firing will advance to fire on that's Thorn.
Okay.
And the other landwehr division is stuck in, so I don't think they're going to be able to respond to really much of anything.
Yep. Alright, thank you. Alright, General Bittenfeld, you ride south along your line to see the battle in full swing with your army now. So far they're holding and things seem to be going well for all except 31st Brigade, who is in the woods, heavily engaged with getting pelted by artillery as well as Austrian troops. Other than that, that's you can see. Hold on, let me remember what you can see. You can see Mulbe's guards on your right flank, so they are deployed in line, and they seem to be engaged as well with someone down that way.
Okay. Well, this one will be pretty easy. I will pull the 31st along with the 16th back ever so slightly. Kind of get them on this hilltop where I am. Still defending the southern flank of the 29th. And then the 30th, I would like to have them advance onto that little Austrian group I see you down there in the southeast. Try to get some fire on their flank and drive them out of there. Everyone, all my cannons and cavalry, to just keep relaxing to regain their composure.
Okay. Got it, thank you. Alright. As you can tell, General Moltke has joined you. 4th and 3rd Corps have launched their attacks. They're advancing towards the enemy line. 2nd Corps' attacks still going in, and reports that they are routing many brigades and have taken Schlaun. He's confirmed.
Any reports from the 1st and 2nd Light Cavalry?
They report they've arrived in Langenhof and are taking artillery fire and can see one unengaged brigade to the east.
For your information, I just found Trotina, which is a little bit east of the 2 towns that you think majority of the enemy is. They are confirming that the majority of the enemy is in that area. So just FYI.
So which town are they in, the majority?
west of Cortina, which is just east of your Nederlitz and Mastovek, or whatever it's called.
Aslajedi. So they're east of Nederliste, near Lochenice and Sveti. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's like a small town in the valley called Trotina. They're saying they're west of that, which is basically exactly in the area that you thought that they were.
So near Nederliste then.
Just north of it. Yeah, that's what they said. Like, I don't know who this said because this dispatch came without a name.
Okay, the third corps is to immediately deploy their second line of reserves on the left flank to protect against the Austrians, and they are to hold their advance and just be defensive overall. But the fourth corps is to continue their advance against Maslojadi. The cavalry is to spread out and attempt to charge against the Austrian artillery to try and rout them. But if the enemy infantry attempt to intervene, they'll just pull back. The third heavy is to regroup with Albert near Lipa, and the second corps is to regroup near Chlum and just hold back the enemy counter-assaults. The artillery in the center, they're to provide covering fire for the fourth corps' advance until they have contact with the enemy.
I want to move slowly, well, not slowly, fast, towards the Army of the Elbe down south, and I probably want to go back across the river and then down south. I know it's a longer way, but safer way.
I want to personally move towards Albert's position, and the position is near Chlum, just west of it, so I'm safe and I can get a proper view of the area of that battlefield. The area of that battlefield.
Okay.
Yeah. And Prince Karl, I'll bring more units. I'll direct more people to come this way. If just confirm that the bulk of the army is here through your dispatches.
Well, a whole lot of space. It's like, it'll be fine. And I'm like, okay. Okay, boss man.
Stole my dice.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
South
We got a
here.
big ol'
Steinmetz. Heading here. God.
Alright, let's do.
Are these guys over here moving up?
Yes, actually they are. They are moving
I'll
to
just move it quickly,
Cortina. They're moving about. Yeah,
You can give them a little bit extra.
they are. They're forming back into column as well.
Oh, they're forming back into column.
Okay, and
What about these cavalry right here?
they are staying still. Can he get a from staying still? Can he reform slightly and get a reduced?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Oh, speaking of reforming, I better go across the line and see what happens there.
Word.
James, have you done this up north towards the?
No, I just barely got started in the south.
Okay, I'll do it right here then. Was this a charge right here by Schmidt?
Yeah, they're just plunging forward.
Okay, I'll just put them in combat with each other. And that means Dari's artillery is going to open up.
What's the range on Austrian artillery?
Mile.
Attacking first. Like the. Nope. That was. And. Wow. That charge did nothing.
How far you got to the orange?
I'm going to the orange.
I actually
I'm
did.
currently
I did
out
this
here.
far, so
Okay.
I missed it.
That's going to be total of 3 against Flesh. Yeah.
It's interesting that
They're going to start running away anyway because they're outnumbered.
the Austrians are sending their reserves all south. They're evacuating their secondary line.
Weird. What the? It's a choice of all time.
Yeah, they should have left Albert of Saxony where he was, because that Austrian line's about to break, I think.
It is. I mean, I would think. Okay. Am I good to take a screenshot in the north, Lancer?
Oh yeah, up there you're fine. There's no combat really happening.
Weird. Oh shit. Woo.
I just want to confirm, these Prussian artillery, are they moving forward?
No, they didn't have orders to, so.
Oh, that's a waste.
Yeah.
For real.
Okay, yeah, that's all the combat in my area.
Okay, I'm done. 12 o'clock.
I'm going to put Galali and Hohenstein together. They just kind of wound up in the same spot.
Alright, General Moltke, you are moving west and south to get searching for General Bittenfeld. You can see lots of gun smoke rising to the east. Lots of fighting going on. So you're gonna go to...
I'm enjoying the scenery. I'm continuing south. Thank you.
Alright. To Bittenfeld, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. General Bittenfeld. The 31st and the Fusiliers fall back, and the 30th go in. There's lots of fighting in the woods to your east. And of course, continuing on to the north and south against Mulbe. So far, lines on both sides are holding. You're starting to see casualties, but spirits seem to be high And that's about it.
I will move the cannons right behind the 29th, and once they are set up and unlimbered, hopefully the 29th will be able to withdraw, so that way the cannons are on the front, have a clear shot on the infantry ahead of them. Other than that, I will wait here, and hopefully Mobile will come and see me.
Okay. Alright, General Molbe. It's a tight situation. You're getting attacked on all sides. Your Landwehr cavalry move up and hit the 6th Uhlans on their flank, but are soon after attacked themselves by 2 more brigades of Hussars and Uhlans, and even from your vantage point here in the edge of the woods, you can see them breaking and fleeing westward. Your infantry, the 1 brigade just to your east is starting to waver, but the rest is holding firm, no issues.
Okay. I would like to go just north of Steinfeld to meet up with Bittenfield.
Okay. Any orders for your troops?
Yes. The reserve unit will get just move slightly out of the forest there, and I believe that's a slight hill that they're on and form square.
Okay.
And then I will send orders to the northern 2 most guards. Once they wrap up Thorn, they will continue wrapping around and just basically pivot around the central Landwehr division.
Okay. Got it. Oh, I missed one. Still gotta get orders. Alright, General Carl, you move south, kind of join Prince Albert, and reports are coming in that Schmidt continues to experience success as he's moving southeast. Your light cavalry have attacked and are engaging the Austrian line east of Langhof, and 4th Corps is advancing, 3rd Corps is holding, and 3rd Corps reports that they have spotted 2nd Army arriving from the north, and they are arriving on their left flank to the north or east northeast. 3rd Corps reports seeing at least or probably 2 Austrian corps to his south from Sindratz, kind of in a line from Sindratz west. And 4th Corps reports they can see 2 to 3 Austrian brigades directly ahead of them. And that's it. What are your orders?
Okay. So, once the 2nd light is routed, or if they win against the Roth Brigade and the Austrian artillery is captured by the 1st light, the 3rd light is to immediately move to reinforce them and attempt to continue the fight while any brigade or any cavalry contingent routed will regroup near Lipa with Albert. 3rd heavy is to continue regrouping. Schmidt is ordered to hold back his reserves at Schlamm, while the division's 9th Brigade, I believe, is to pull back to the forests and regroup their positions. If the other brigade of Schmidt that's currently facing, I don't know what that is, but if it says Iced Hackers Brigade, if they're facing that and they win, then that's good. Then withdraw if you win. But if they do lose and get routed, they'll just pull back and regroup at the forests like the 9th Brigade. And Schmidt is to hold his reserves back at Schlamm. and I'm going to move northwards towards the 3rd Corps in the north.
Mhm.
So near Horonovis, and use a safer route, so go through the forests to avoid fire to Benetic and then to Horonovis. Just don't get captured. That's the general idea, so go north and have these units execute these orders.
Got it. Alright, thank you.
So that's 0.3 right there. 0.7, so that's 1. Cavalry can move 1.5 times the speed of infantry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they can pour on quadruple speed if they really want to.
See, this lad said to charge in, and I don't know if I should because he's not quite in range for like just a regular move, but
Where at?
over in the north near Sendrasitz, the 2nd Reserve Cav and the other 2nd Reserve Cav.
Oh yeah, no, they're way too far.
Yeah, no,
That's
because
all rough
they also have to go
terrain.
around. They can't like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
No, you could maybe put them like here if they've ordered a charge, and then they got to suffer that artillery fire because that's way too long to order a charge at.
yeah, I'm just gonna put them there. They can have fun with that.
Okay. Let's see. I rolled double freeze. Okay. And then let's see what the Austrian cavalry gets. Oh boy. Actually, no, they wouldn't charge in because they know that artillery's sitting right there. Kill them.
Yeah. Also, okay, I'm looking at the hussars that were sent forward in the north. These ones, the right
Yeah,
here,
give me a second. I'll get around to them. I want to get some of these other things before we sort through that part right there.
more they were told not to engage, but I don't see where they could go where they wouldn't be forced to because the infantry is pushing behind. The other cav from Prince William is pushing there. So like maybe they could go like here, but that put them under cannon.
If they cross the stream, yeah, they're in range of that artillery. I mean, there's no getting away from it.
Yeah. That might.
So-
I think they'll just stay. Honestly, I
They'll
don't.
just stay right there. If they're going to stay right there, they're going to be in firing range.
Yeah, but like he, I don't think he realizes where he. Okay, sorry, I gotta try.
Okay, if you want to put them right there, because they are just kind of coming over this hill. They've already had a day of just marching. They probably just want to go at the enemy. So yeah, I'd say if they want to go at them, they come at them.
Yeah.
Alright, I've done combat up to the orange line.
I've done everything but the far north up here.
We've got time for 2 more turns.
Yeah, that's artillery mist right here, and that's the furthest I've done.
The Austrian center is breaking. With no reserves at hand.
Literally, all the reserves just disappearing into the ether.
Well, they got them like way far back or sent the other ones south. Which the ones sent south are doing fine now, but they just evacuated their center. Because their next line of reserves is 3 miles away.
Yeah. That's rough.
And now they're getting slammed from the north.
Yeah. Now that's basically 3 fresh corps coming in from the north.
Yeah.
Versus half a fresh corps
That's
south. That's
yeah, they get shredded right there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Benedict might get captured. He's got cavalry chase coming right at him. He's gonna have a fun screenshot.
Where?
Right here. He's got Hussars about half a mile away from his headquarters.
Oh yeah, no, that's not going to good at all. These guys right here are good to go though. They're back in the fight.
Okay.
The brown line.
Form a quick square formation and fight. All right, you can do screenshots till 12:30.
Okay.
12:30. Oops. Yay, 3 people are together. I can send the same screenshot.
That's fun.
Whoever's got the pink ruler, could you move it?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, good.
Gosh, this is something.
Could one of you roll those 2 dice that I have right at and just tell me what they end up as?
Yeah. Both are 3s.
Both are frees? Okay, no injuries then. Both Holstein and Galdali went in for that charge.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So you are having a nice little conference in the town of Loptus when couriers urgently arrive to Bittenfeld from the north left end of his line, and an excited young officer reports, "They're retreating! They're retreating! We've got them on the run!" And he reports 3 Austrian brigades are fleeing eastward. At the same time, reports come in from the south that the Landwehr are getting overrun and are in a tight spot. And that's about it.
Hey. I'm going to need the 27th, 28th, and 29th to advance just at the edge of that ridge line, pretty much where the map is cut off there, and hold there. And then I need the cannons to come towards Bohr and really put fire down on that Austrian group of cannons. Got to get that out of there.
Okay. Mulbe?
Yes. Left flank will continue going around Thorn and firing on them. We're not going around, but keeping up on the flank. And we'll send messengers to reform behind the reserve that's on the tree line and reform into the tree, the units that are broken, if at all possible.
Okay.
I also suggest you guys send some cavalry from Elbe down south just to guard his flank. I'm really worried about that cavalry that routed his cavalry coming from the south.
I mean, if you pull back north of the forest, just at Steinfeld, the hill, it should be pretty good from cavalry, because they're not going to charge through woods. And it will give your troops time to reform, and hopefully it would make the Austrians stretch their line, because if their line gets stretched, we can break through easier.
I'm okay with that. I mean,
they'll be able to reform in the forest, and
if it's true that you're facing 4 corps, yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys. I don't want to micromanage. I'm just saying, just look. I mean, you do not know where the cavalry is down south, so have some kind of contingency for that. That's all.
All right. So what are the orders? There.
That's
Anything different?
good for me.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, General Carl, you move north and then east. You find Third Corps. They have stopped moving as you ordered. You can see Second Army on the march to the east. Fourth Corps is still moving in, not engaged yet. And from this vantage point, you can see the Austrian line not yet engaged. Your orders?
Alright. So, Fourth and Third Corps, they're going to launch a general advance against the Austrians in the formations that they currently are in. And they will stop at the best range possible and begin just unleashing volley fire into them. And the artillery of the Third Corps is to stop firing for the Third Corps infantry to advance. Like a general advance, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back to the center near my... Actually, I'm gonna go back to the south near Lipa and the forests to try and get another view of what Albert and Schmidt are currently doing.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna devastate that unit.
Is Benedict moving? We don't know yet.
Oh, that is not what the Austrians needed to see. What's happening with these guys right in here? Because these artillery are about to open up on any of the advancing Prussians that they can.
I mean, they're chasing down men and officers and whatever, so.
Okay. Because that line's been ordered.
They're kind of intermixed. If they don't mind shooting their own troops, then they can fire, I guess. I think Ludwig, I guess Benedict made it to safety, but we'll say Ludwig has been captured.
Huh.
Alright, time for combat.
Actually, I'll spread the damage over to that one. Okay, yeah. They are shattered as well. And that's going to shatter these guys. So all of this is just running away.
Should give them +1 defense for fighting from a town.
This is absolutely rough.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Right here, yeah, they already like inflicted some damage on them, but it's not going to help. These guys are just the Austrian heavy cavalry is just overrunning all these Prussian positions. Alright, third I'm playing movement again. That's that. nothing. Would these guys be able to charge that gun? They would. Again, misses. And infantry. And infantry kill it.
Uh-oh. What happened to Ludwig?
Captured.
I think these guys are going to have to countercharge right here. The Austrian cavalry.
So, what is it? Heavy cavalry moving through woods?
Yeah, but they were chasing down all of these infantry, so it's kind of a weird situation.
Okay, well, we'll have them. Let's just have them countercharge. Just give them another combat roll.
Okay. Just one for each, or?
No, do double. Make it decisive.
Alright then. Austrian first does not do much. And then let's hit the... Okay, so they get -1.
I'm gonna be mad if Prince William doesn't get absolutely pasted by a cannonball. Just to make it completely clear, he is charging with the cavalry that are moving towards that artillery.
Where's
the Austrians?
Prince William?
It's right here.
1, 4.
He's right here.
Oh my goodness gracious. You're kidding.
And then I'll give him another one because they're just attacking through all this.
Unbelievable stuff, really.
What a man. What a Chad.
I'm just gonna say Schmidt is dead because he was in the midst of his infantry.
Okay.
Yikes.
Let's see if these guys survive. Or that's artillery. Artillery missed. Oh, somebody's dead. And then the other one is wounded. Minor. Okay.
Alright, 1300. We'll do one more. We'll get one more turn of orders in combat, and then we'll call it wherever it's at.
Right.
But don't tell the players that.
Where did Lancer go?
I think he already dropped.
Oh shoot! I needed him to resolve something. Or can you go ahead and do it?
Yeah. What is it?
In the north, the cavalry is charging that artillery right here.
Okay. Let's see.
And I don't think it's clear, but Prince William is like in the midst of it as well. I don't know if there's anything.
Makes it fun. Let's see if he dies. He is heavily injured.
Oh.
He's knocked out for 4 turns.
Right.
They do reach the artillery though, and overrun it. If that makes him feel any better.
Ildari is dead right here.
To him.
And then Hohenstein is wounded.
Are the Austrian infantry in the north, are they getting engaged? Like these ones?
What happened up here?
I rolled.
They move forward.
Cavalry
And
combat.
artillery.
I already rolled it.
Okay.
What should I tell Prince William, by the way? Like, is he like...
Tell him he blacked out after getting hit by something.
Okay, cool. Got it. So, do I send him an update, or...?
It's up to you.
It's fine. He's not going to do anything with it. Alright. Okay.
All right,
Could you?
gentlemen. So, first report for Bittenfeld. His left is chasing down the fleeing Austrians. The cavalry are rested and ready to go. Foot artillery is engaging. Horse artillery doesn't have a clear shot yet. Your right wing is holding as it fights in the woods. 30th Brigade's doing all right. The General Moeb's reserve guard has 3 brigades still active and holding. He reports the hussars and the Austrian 4 or 5 Austrian brigades are operating to his south, but he's holding them off from the woods for now. And the rest of your army or your reserve corps is fighting 3 brigades, but they do report they managed to break 1 brigade and send them fleeing. And that's it.
Okay. So for the 29th to the 27th, those 3 to keep the advance to Vestar, I guess. And then for my cavalry to push between the cannonry and the 29th, hopefully take those cannons this time and not get driven off. And then I need the Fusiliers to advance as well.
To take which
and
cannons?
Fire on any... Second?
Which cannons do you want them to attack?
It's the ones just in front of the Fusiliers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I need the Fusiliers to advance to fire on any infantry that are trying to push through the woods.
My 3 forces still engaged will continue holding their position and fighting. I will personally go down to the crossroads in the woods, and attempt to rally my cavalry and the infantry there.
Okay. All right, Moltke, you staying here?
One question, please, to my guys. Actually, and you as well. Do we have any sight of the cavalry that broke or routed down south?
No.
Okay. Gentlemen, do you need me? Can I go south? Can I go north, rather?
You're free.
Okay. Stay strong. I want to same route back to the 1st Army HQ.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, Prince Karl, you arrive south to an alarming sight. The Austrian heavy cavalry have countercharged Schmidt and broken his corps. Schmidt is nowhere to be found. Prince Albert committed the heavy cavalry to countercharge them and hold the line. You have shattered corps running all around you at the moment, and that's it.
Okay. So I'm going to immediately order the 14th Brigade from the 7th Division from the 4th Corps to immediately outflank the Austrian 1st Heavy Cavalry. And I'm going to direct all of these batteries to fire on the Austrians as much as they can to push them back. And I'm going to personally attempt to rally the men of the 3rd Division to try and hold them, and in an attempt to make a last stand. That's about my orders for now.
Okay.
I'll just start with the cavalry charge, because I know what's going on there. Okay. What is Prince Carl doing?
He's trying to rally shattered troops.
Okay, I don't know if he's going to get the chance.
No, it doesn't matter at this point.
Okay.
I apologize, Lancer. I was talking to what's his name at the time. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I get it. I was trying to get everything out of there so that we could simulate what actually happens.
Yeah.
Basically the Austrian commander ordered the light in, and then he also had these guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to kind of point it out while the combat was happening. These guys were kind of protecting the guns, so that's why the artillery's been pulled back, and I'm going to say they haven't been spiked. So
yeah. I'm going to say that with their commander dead, the Hussars would probably just keep going. I would think they just get caught up in their charge.
Okay, and that's Prince William. Yeah. Oh, that might be bad for the. Okay, so if he's dead, let's just pull him out of there.
He's just knocked out. But
he's knocked out, but I mean.
Oh, he's knocked out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna start down here.
Sorry, let me go to. I actually forgot to go and talk to Billy. Hold on.
Okay, so those guys. How quickly does somebody recover from the minor wound?
He was out for 4 turns. We're calling it after this turn anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll be bringing everyone in. We just need to decide how everyone's doing.
This looks, at least from my perspective, this looks like one hell of a Prussian victory. But
yeah, well, the main thing was the Austrian countercharge. Did it capture Karl or did it get repulsed?
Okay, yeah. He's alive right here.
Moltke's still around?
Moltke is way over here.
He's coming back north.
This is weird.
Feel bad for Clem Galas. I don't think he was like way in the back the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Finally gets into combat and it's the last turn.
For real. I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Okay, those guys.
Whoever's covering combat for the north, Gallus ordered all 3 of his divisions that are facing whatever that one to shoot it alone.
Hold on. These guys are going to take massive. It's just a chain, kind of like chain hitting the morale over here.
Ooh.
Gotcha.
That's rough.
Because both of these guys broke, and then to the counter charge. We're not even the cavalry.
Center. What is going on in there?
It's something.
What, right here?
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah.
It
So
was pure chaos.
Let's see. There's
Why is there
artillery.
Austrian artillery just in their back line?
They captured it earlier.
That was captured.
They captured it earlier and then ran directly back
guys
into
were shattered.
Austrian heavy cavalry. What?
I need to move Prince William out of here. He's just in the way.
This bodyguard just drags him back.
This is.
Okay, these guys are shots.
That's not shooting
These guys are just gonna push through.
Yeah. Bro, poor poor August just watching as his other flank just completely throws it. Not even throws it, but I don't know. What are you supposed to do when your commanding general decides to charge into a bunch of cannons? Trying to make this somewhat nicer.
Oh, I already got them. That's right. And then actually, that would have been a lot more because they were right next to all those guys routing. Oh, they don't take it.
Yeesh. Yikes.
We good?
Let me double check. Is Kirchberg in range there? No. Okay.
That's really.
Yeah, we're good.
Albert just.
Actually, here, let me end these guys so that they can actually
cavalry
do
charge on the south. That.
Alright, let's bring everyone to the lobby.
Oh, I'm not dead. Oh,
You might be.
I'm dead.
Alright, welcome everyone. Thank you for a very good game. Before I share my screen, let me do my favorite thing, which is ask the CICs how they think they're doing. So, starting with Moltke, how do you think you're doing?
We're doing quite decent. I think we disrupted quite a lot of enemy. I was very impressed by the Elbe and the reserve corps down south. They kept at bay quite a few corps of the enemy. It took us a while to find the enemy, but now first, second army and the guards should have them pretty well surrounded on three sides up north. And if my count is right, we have something like 7 corps attacking 3 or 4 of their corps. So if we had a little bit more of the daylight, I was sort of expecting to really crush them there and then come down and help the Elbe and the guards. And they scouted pretty well, and they seem to know how to keep a defensive position, how to keep all those corps down south in bay. So that gives me comfort that would work. Mind you, the tactics did not work at all how we expected. Prince August did not manage to cross the river, didn't have enough time, etc. So that very elaborate plan we had ended up being just trying to find the enemy, then pinning them in place, and then defeating them in.
All right.
That's my view.
And Benedek, General Benedek?
If I knew what Clam Gaius was doing, I would have a different view. I think I'm about to die personally, but assuming my cavalry commander got my last dispatch, we're probably going to hold in our center, our west, by where Ludwig was unfortunately captured, and Hohenstein almost was. Hello, Hohenstein. I don't know what's going on too much on my far south and far north. I think in the center we would repulse the enemy eventually given time. And the commitment of the Saxons coming up, and the commitment of the heavy cavalry. But yeah, I don't know really what's going on in the north, so that could be our downfall.
Alright. Let me...
And if I lose, the Austrians lost historically, so it's totally not my fault. It's determined. Yes.
Share my screen. Alright, so... get my little drawer here. First of all, the Austrians deployed much more... further back and more consolidated than historical. So I think historically they're pretty much close to that line that I'd originally drawn. So following this little river here at Sadwa, they had a nice line, I think, something like this if I recall correctly. But in this game they were deployed more like here, so several miles further back. So the Prussians started with the Elbe Army and the reserve over Heerisch, and First Army Heerisch, and Second Army up in the north, coming down in okay, I'm just gonna go with it. Coming down in 2 columns, but further back is going to take time for them to arrive. So when they first advanced, they didn't find any Austrians. It took some time for that to happen. I covered the combat in the south, so I know that the best. And I had the Prussians in the south and center. And what I saw, both sides made contact. Mulba spent a lot of time marching in line formation in the woods here till he realized there's nothing there, and then finally sped up at least to the edge of the woods. Bittenfeld did a good job holding position, cycling troops, and fighting. Karl, he had a huge army, which he had some initial gains charging right up the center, and then I'll get in a second to what later went on. And then it took a while for Second Army. It took longer than I thought it would for Second Army to arrive. I think whoever was managing the cavalry up in this area did a good job delaying them. I think we'll have to hear from that. But what happened late battle? Well, I noticed, I think the Austrians, for one, they had a lot of reserves really far back, so I think it was Klamgalis was way over here.
I knew it.
With the reserve that was, 3 or 4 miles from the main line, which I thought was too far back. When you talk about why, I'd like to understand why they were kept so far back and why you kept an entire corps in Königgrätz. The other questionable decision, was I saw Albert's Saxon army was moved. I think they were around Heerisch, and they were moved south to help in this fight. Which did help. I mean, they're beaten up on the reserve guard corps, but it meant that there were no reserves in the center, and so when Bittenfeld broke through here, there's nothing to counter that, and basically made a huge hole in the Austrian center. Ludwig got killed or captured, and we have light cavalry bearing down on... Where'd Benedict go? Did he run away? He was there. He went somewhere. But yeah, the whole center is just blown through. Now, the Prussian center also came very close to being in trouble because the heavy cavalry, I think under Julii, countercharged the Prussian Second Corps, killed the corps commander, and almost broke through all the way to Prince Karl. Luckily, he had kept his own heavy cavalry in reserve here, so they countercharged with some artillery support and were able to push that back. But it was very close. An entire corps broken for the Prussians. But here at the end of the game, or battle, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish fresh corps coming down from the north. I think Prince William foolishly led a charge himself, but I think that's J-Rock's way. But he got injured, knocked out, in the attempt. But we do have some of Karl's corps coming down now. We've got the Guard Corps under Prince August coming, and then more. So I'm handing it to be as it was historically a Prussian victory, especially with the Austrian center just completely gone. You can see all this line routing too. So that's going to spread pretty quickly. They do have reserves far back here, so this fresh corps can cover retreats at least, but it won't be helping in this fight. And then I think once they get word that the south has been blown or is gone, I think the north will fall back for risk of being cut off. So good game, everyone. Very fun, enjoyable. I really appreciate the help of the umpires. We had a couple new ones. We had a couple drop out last minute, so we were going to have like 8, and it came down to less than that. But in the end, I think it was about the right amount, and I appreciate Nominable handing all the dispatches because that made life so much easier. So let's go down as we normally do. We'll start with the umpires sharing their insights and experience, and then we'll get to the players. So Nominable, anything to share from the dispatch side?
Not too much.
Right.
Just the Prussians had a lot, and the Austrians not too much.
So Prussians were talking a lot more. All right. Sorry, looking down. Umpire Jacko, this was your first time. How was it?
You know what? That was a pretty enjoyable experience. What am I supposed to say here? Like,
Just anything you saw, any player recommendations or questions, anything funny?
Well, for the 2 main corps that I was umpiring over, a lot of what they did was too little, too late. Like, the reserves in Königgrätz only sent half of their force north, and that was pretty much halfway through the battle already. Or, Albert had sent his troops in and ended up getting into the fight, but they only really had the left flank, and it wasn't much. Besides that, I don't think I've got anything.
Okay, that's fine. All right, umpire Kaiser. You there?
Wait, what? Oh, sorry, I lagged for a second there.
Anything to share?
Oh, sure. So I was umpiring for the Prussian, umpiring for August and Crown Prince Frederick William. Honestly, a couple comments. It did take quite some time for the Northern Corps to get there, partially because, at least from my perspective, especially the one under Prince August was delayed slightly by the cavalry. Not as much as I think will be made apparent, or not as much as James thinks. I don't think it was a pretty quick push and retreat by the Prussians there, and then they managed to get down south. I will say the 6th and 5th Corps took a very long time just because they went south through Berglitz and then kind of like meandered to the east from there. So they took a minute to get to where they should have been, but on the bright side, that does mean that they were basically fresh as they went in. I feel like it would have been a far more impactful thing if they had managed to keep Prince William alive. Well, he's still alive, but unwounded. Because unfortunately, that sort of caused a bit of a line of shattering to happen here, and it's currently threatening Prince August's corps while he's right there. Otherwise, yeah, it was a very, very interesting game. I will say, as it was hilarious to watch, to ask, are you sure that you wish to charge with the cavalry? And it's like, yeah, we're going. And I think that was awesome. That's truly the Prussian way, just going with the lads, charging uphill against an artillery battery and managing to get there somehow. But yeah, that's all from me.
All right. Umpire Lancer.
Yeah, I had Hohenstein, Ernst, and Gulali. I kind of had like almost the northern hook there of the Austrians. I think some of the most interesting things I noticed was Hohenstein had this at the very north end of his line. This commander, I can't remember what his name exactly was, but it started with a TO, and he was getting pressed pretty heavily early on in the battle. It was Fourth Corps, and he was getting pretty pressed, and he broke, and that's why the Prussians had that artillery piece way off there, off to the left. But later, after he broke, the Austrian heavy cavalry was ready to countercharge and just kind of push through. And I think that was very well done because the Prussian forces that were in the front were already exhausted and they kind of rolled badly. And that allowed them to kind of steamroller their way through this pretty large Prussian force because the Prussians would just, the next wave going into the attack would be surrounded by retreating men and kind of demoralized. And I think that really helped the momentum of that charge. In the north, I think that the cavalry was used pretty well, scouting and delaying the Prussians. And that's kind of my tidbit.
All right, jump into the players. We'll just go down the list. So starting with August.
Thank you. Yeah, I was on the north side, obviously. I'll agree with Kaiser. I don't think that cavalry held me up as long as some other people are thinking. Mostly, I used my own cavalry to engage it, and if anything, it only held me up because I did not want to put my corps that was advancing along the Elbe behind it, pretty much. What really held me up from getting in the fight was just the distance I had to march, because I started northeast of Yarmur and had to get all the way down there.
8 miles.
Yeah, I elected not to cross the Elbe just because, again, I don't think I would have ever been engaged marching all the way down the east bank and then having to cross back over. I did throw my heavy cavalry into that charge by William. Glad we were able to neutralize the artillery. And towards the end, I see that we were fighting 4 corps basically with, at the moment, 2, which was not ideal, but confident I could have held that southern flank since they had to cross the Elbe to get at my line.
All right. Clam Galas, I think you won Marching Simulator / inactive, well, not inactive, but reserve award this game. How was your experience? Flores.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been good to hear from the CIC a little bit more direction on what they wanted. I asked early on, hey, is the objective to hold Königgrätz? And the answer was yes, so I held Königgrätz. Didn't really have a good idea of what was going on around me beyond what my cavalry saw to the west. I could have been a little bit more proactive, but I was trying to fulfill the role that was given to me. I will not be doing that again in the future. I'm going to play aggressive. Way more aggressive. More fun.
Alright. Alright, J-Rock, Crown Prince William.
Yeah, just like August, it was marching sim for us, really. Because we didn't run into any enemy where we were going, and then First Army came over into my direction, so I had to shift further east. And then we just all started converging on the enemy when we knew where they were, relatively. And then I had my cavalry up front screening, and then I was like, well, my infantry needs to form up, so I just ordered the charge into the artillery battery. And they already were wounded, so I was like, I'm gonna just go with them to boost the courage on the charge. Hopefully they pull it through, which we did, by the way. Totally wrecked the artillery and opened the gap. They just countercharged us. We're gonna win the day though. William charged for the win. 10 out of 10 would always do it again.
All right. All right. Julia.
Okay, yeah. I had the heavy cavalry and the 2 light cavalry that were up north, and I assume did a very good job delaying. But yeah, mostly I was in the center with heavy cavalry, and when I saw that the infantry in front of me was breaking, I let my artillery give a volley first, and then just went for it. I got a lot of glory, the maximum glory I can get, because I died in that charge. I guess I couldn't do anything better at this moment, but I would like to say that the cavalry movement in the beginning felt very, very slow.
Okay. All right. Ernst.
I commanded the Austrian 3rd and 10th Corps in the north, way out on the right flank. I had fun sort of delaying the Prussians and trying my best to slow their advance. The one thing I'm bitter about is that I saw the cavalry and the unsupported guns, and I was like, they're going to try and charge, so I ordered the infantry to support the guns and fend off any charges, but it didn't work out too well. If the brigade commander there survives the battle and I survive the battle, I'm going to have him court-martialed and executed. Aside from that, umpires did really well. Seemed like it was a pretty busy battle. I had fun. Austrian historical defeat makes this sting a little less, since they got really slapped hard historically. But yeah, thanks for the umpires, and thank you to the umpires. Thanks for the game, and good game to everyone involved.
All right. Bittenfeld.
I thought it was a good game. I got into engagement pretty early. I think I might have been the first one to get into combat, actually. I got a pretty lucky cavalry charge in the first couple turns that I think gave me an early lead on breaking the Austrians. And after that was just cycling troops and watching the Austrians crumble.
All right. Mulbe.
I think it went pretty well for my first real game. The forest shenanigans was a little bit weird. I was very concerned about if I marched them column, I would just run straight into a line of Austrian infantry. Once I got engaged, the problem of only having a handful of infantry quickly became apparent, as I couldn't have enough of a reserve while also supporting Bittenfeld on the north. But only a few people died, and that's all that matters.
All right. Von Moltke.
Well, I already gave my guess. I am a little. I mean, the part that where I see that I definitely have to improve, since my role was mostly communication and synchronizing the actions. I did not have a good handle of where Prince August and actually how far back the Second Army started. So I will do next time some things to figure that better out, because I expected, basically I was a little bit surprised how far back some of their units are still. Everybody did a very good job communicating, sending dispatches when required. All my commanders took really good, they gauged when they should take initiative, especially, for example, Bittenfeld in the center, and also the First Army, when they took some of their Austrians prisoner and so on, took their guns. That was really good. So I think the reason I'm mentioning that, because I think everybody felt supported. They understood what their role was in the bigger battle. and they knew where to press and where to hold back. Anyway, very, very pleased. There you go. That's it.
All right, thank you. Hohenstein?
Yeah. Sorry. I really enjoyed it. I felt like my role in the game was pretty static. I was just kind of hanging around in a defensive position until I did that last charge. But I really enjoyed it. I felt like it was a nice large game, and yeah, good job to the umpires. Right.
All right, thank you. Ludwig von Benedict, reservist.
Hello, yes. On the topic of improvements, so yeah, I think I need to remember the scale of games because a lot of the times I get screwed over by not understanding exactly how far back things are. When I put those forces in Königgrätz for who was it, Clan Gaius, I had expected them to be able to respond rather rapidly, and then I made my first turn of movement, and I was like, oh, right, yeah, these are entire fucking divisions we're marching around. Pardon my language, I'm sorry. I don't know if this is going on the live stream. But you get the idea. Other than that, I think I'm proud that we didn't get crushed quite as bad as the Austrians did in real life. My god, were we outnumbered. I'm really happy with how the cavalry charge formed up. I only wish it was just a little bit luckier. Overall, I think our plan was simple. I expected a far more heavy attack on the south, but the Prussians meandered, and I think that saved them from a pretty nasty surprise, because the idea was as they approached Königsberg, we'd attack from the forces coming from Königsberg, and the forces in the center and the cavalry would all converge and smash them. So the fact that they were concentrated in the north, and the fact that their southern forces didn't let themselves get exposed, I think was either by design or fortune a very good stroke for them. And I congratulate my, I think, rather relatively rookie opponent of Commander for Helmut von Moltke. So you did good, and you did not do the usual new person thing of immediately charging at the primary big city name on a map. Also, yeah, communication is important. Knowing where your people are is important, and the big thing when you're attacking and you're spread out along a long front is that becomes really hard. So it's understandable if you were, even as a veteran player, a bit confused what else was it. Oh yeah, Gaius, Clan Gaius. I know you want to have fun, but it is infinitely better as a player to have an ally or a subordinate who actually listens and doesn't immediately go out and march toward the enemy. So just send more dispatches and you'll be fine, and you'll definitely get into some action next game.
I'm tracking that, but you gotta communicate better with your subordinates. You're kind of like talking to this dude, giving him advice that you need to take for yourself.
Ouch.
But, yeah, continue.
Well, I was, yeah, never mind.
So I thank you very much for the praise, for the avoiding the rookie mistake. Just for your information, our plan was that Prince August, with another corps, so 2 corps in total, would start somewhere on the right side of the Elbe and go straight down to Königgrätz. So that was planned.
I see.
Just didn't happen. All right, Prince Albert.
So thank you for running the game. Thank you to the new umpires and the Prussians. GG. They definitely had a very well executed plan. Thanks to umpire Jaco for umpiring me. I think that this is our second game together, so great job. The game I think went really well, so full marks for that. Zooming in for my own personal participation, I was seething and screaming in rage the whole time. I was just infinitely frustrated at pretty much every turn. I don't think we had a plan past scout here, and I never received an order. I did get some advice and some information, but I'm looking back through my dispatches and I never received an order to do anything. So we were kind of just zoomed in on our screenshots and couldn't respond to the needs of the army as a whole, which I think is why we lost. Very well done to the Prussians. I'm going back to Napoleonics now.
All right, thanks everyone for playing. It was fun. You're welcome to hang out and keep talking. I'm going to end the recording here.